Hello everyone, Alan here. Welcome to Big Hard Books and Classics. I'm at chapter 29 now, but I'm going to stop at around chapter 21. So if you haven't read up to chapter 21, go ahead and read up to chapter 21 and come back, because I'm not going to intentionally do spoilers, and I might talk in generalities a little bit. Primarily I'll be talking to Todd and Lillian, but I'll also be talking to people in the future. First, I'd like to start out with my own little history of Thomas Pynchon. I read Gravity's Rainbow for the second time a year ago with the Book Chemist, and I'll put links below to my playlists of Gravity's Rainbow and Mason and Dixon I read 4 months ago. Gravity's Rainbow, and then I read Against the Day this year too. I should have looked, I forgot. Against the Day might be my favorite book of all time, and I'm ready to reread that too, even this year. But and let's see, Against the Day and Gravity's Rainbow are all annotated up, totally. I did extensive notes on Mason and Dixon, but I didn't annotate it up because it's pretty readable, except you know, the text is in old-timey language. It's like reading Emily Dickinson if she wrote a novel. All the nouns and people, places, and things are capitalized. Words like reverend are that like R-E-V. But it's really readable once you get into the language and that. But here, just let me show you that I have no annotations in this book at all, which is kind of unusual for me. But that just goes to show and say that how readable this book is. It's also a good end to Pynchon, meaning it has everything Pynchon's known for. It's really readable. I mean, there's parts of Gravity's Rainbow and Against the Day where he'll get into something, I don't know, like V engines or some type of science or mathematics for pages. It would just be over my head at least, or yours probably too. Not with this book, although it does deal with .com and a lot of computer things and the deep web, he calls it, where I want to ask Todd about this, and Lillian too, about their opinions about, you know, the difference between the dark and the deep web. I don't know, you know, very much about it at all. I've never really to know for that the characters, many characters in here, not as many as Gravity's Rainbow or Against the Day, but let me just show you. I'll put them up here, and the names are the usual Pynchon funny names, interesting names, meaningful names. Main character is Maxine Tarnow. Now, she's a mother of two sons. Her sons' names are Ziggy and Otis. They go to a private school in New York City. Some people have said this is Pynchon's love letter to New York. He grew up in Long Island. I've never been to New York City. I don't know if you've been, Lillian or Todd, or but it's really a character in this novel, isn't it? It would really behoove a person to know New York City, but it doesn't stop me. I mean, I know it from films and that, and this is in 2001. In fact, the novel takes place in exactly 1 year. It begins on spring of 2001, so that means September, 6 months, is you know, 2011, which I have not gotten to in the book. It hasn't happened yet, up to chapter 29, but it's impending, and it's kind of foreshadowed. So some of the characters, Maxine is a mother, but she's a private eye too. And now Bleeding Edge is coming right after Inherent Vice, which also is a detective genre novel of Pynchon's. Other characters, well, see, I'm not going to just do the, like, lay out the storyline here either. I'm going to do some, just, I call it riffing, just jamming, just to see where it takes me. But so she's the main character, kind of an accountant type who ended up losing her license. She had a CFE license, and due to her husband Horst, who's a like a .com or computer guy too. He lives in an apartment on like the 100th some floor of the World Trade Center, by the way. But it's her ex-husband, but they have a friendly relationship. She's a quirky mother slash private eye for sure. She gets into some precarious situations. She handles a gun. She she's sexual woman. Not very active, but there's some not wild sex scenes for Pynchon by any means. I'd like to hear what like Lillian thought if she was surprised with some of these sex scenes in here, especially with who Eric Outfield, computer hacker, person with a fetish. What type of fetish? I won't spoil that for you. Other characters, who's this cackling Speedwall. He's a freelance professional nose, meaning he has a heightened sensitivity for smells and aromas. I want to mention, remember there's a part about Hitler's cologne. It's like a number. I don't know if this is true or not. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But this is a type of like conspiracy theory Pynchon's known for. We don't know if it's true, or I don't know if it's true, but where he gets into the part where he's like, Hitler's cologne was also JFK's cologne. Now, if that was JFK's cologne, might have been Joseph Kennedy's, Jack's father's favorite cologne, because colognes are kind of handed down like that. So did Joseph Kennedy have an affliction for Hitler? See how you could connect the dots? But other conspiracy theories and Bleeding Edge are also, the Bush connection with Islam and that, primarily Saudi Arabia. He mentions Nixon. He also gets into Ronald Reagan and Nicaragua, you'll remember. So there's conspiracies in here. Not only that, but especially about computers. Now, I'm to the point where we finally meet Gabriel Ice, that character, the billionaire tycoon who owns hashslingers.com. You'll notice a lot of, it's a whole world of like New York City in our time back then, right after Y2K and that. There's a lot of pop references right off the bat. Law and Order, they mentioned like, this is about the only part of the neighborhood they hadn't filmed Law and Order in yet, Britney Spears. We have Maxine's life, her family life, which is a lot of touching moments. I guess Crying of Lot 49 has a female lead character in it. I have not read that novel by Pynchon yet. But so then we have her office life, and then we have her ex-husband type life. Then we have her like romantic life in quotes. And then we have her friend, one of the wildest names in Pynchon. I don't think I wrote it down, that Virna, her high school friend, who Hoist, by the way, Maxine's ex-husband, had an affair with too. The plot begins with Reg Dispard, who's an indie documentary filmmaker, is hired Maxine to look into some accounting discrepancies at hashslingers.com. And that's where it starts taking off. I want to make this kind of short and brief. I think it's just a midway check-in. I want to see where I think Todd might have had a hard time maybe getting the ball rolling with this novel. We'll see. I know he's been into computers for a long time. I'm interested to get your opinion on that, Todd. Especially like this Deep Archer, which is like the security. I'm pretty nerd about internet security and all that. That's why hashslingers.com and Gabriel Ice made it through the .com crisis or crash or whatever around that time. Also, some other quirky characters are Sean, Maxine's psychologist or Zen advisor. He's like a transplant from California. Seems like he's a second or third generation type deal. He's a comic character. It was funny that Maxine met, was it Reg or Horsch on that cruise, the American Borderline Personality Disorder cruise. Pynchon's known for his acronyms for sure. But this Deep Archer, Departure, there's a lot of Journey references, the band. Now I looked to see if Don't Stop Believing was on the Departure album. It's on Escape. But isn't it when they go into the Korean karaoke bar that they're singing Don't Stop Believing? There's many Journey connections in the novel. What about that bicycle delivery guy who delivers packages to Maxine and many others too? Lately, videotapes of Arabs on rooftops practicing shooting down airplanes. Let's see, what else? Let me just look through. Like I said, I haven't made any notes, but I made some bookmarks in here. From Maxine's female point of view, it's really interesting. She has a thing for noticing men's hard-ons. These are quirky type of Pynchon humorous things, you know, juxtaposed with like the murder of Lester Trapeze. Not so funny and humorous. So I'm just getting into the, and I haven't used, this is the first read for me of Bleeding Edge, first read for all three of us. So I'm really, I just wanted to get this out the midpoint to get your opinion and where you're at with the novel, if you're liking the characters. Oh, how about the songs in here? That's typical Pynchon. I just read a really funny song about the toilet song. Pynchon's known for toilets, toilet humor, and beyond. Yeah, this is called In the Toilet, to a hustle tempo. It's played by a band called Nazi Vegetables. Such a weird and wacky feeling with your brains up on the ceiling in the toilet. Girl, back up. In the toilet. I'm not going to sing the whole song. Some things are obviously true in a Pynchon novel. Some things might be true, and you'll have to go find out. You might go in the rabbit hole. Some things are obviously false and made up. Like all the movies he mentions, there's years in brackets. You might want to check some of those. They might be false leading. I'm enjoying this novel, and I have not read Inherent Vice. I saw the movie one time on DVD. I need to watch it again because I like Anderson a lot, the director and writer. Oh, the Russian Igor Dashkov, a Russian heavy mobster who has a special Russian ice cream with the real heavy cream in it. They don't take out, they leave the additives in, and it's very good. So I look forward to your comments, and I will talk to you later. Ta-ta.